Yesterday marked the one-year anniversary of Superstorm Sandy, which devastated communities all along the eastern coast, and especially in my home state of New Jersey. Although the people of New Jersey, with a lot of help from the federal government, have begun the long effort to rebuild what was lost, much work remains. I know that I am not alone when I say that the people affected by Hurricane Sandy can be sure that members of this panel will continue to work to make sure that the communities are rebuilt and the lessons learned are incorporated into future disaster plans. With that, I will turn to the topic of today's hearing, responding to cyber attack. Last month, the Subcommittee on Emergency Preparedness, Response, and Communications held a hearing reviewing the findings of the Federal Emergency Management Agency's 2013 National Preparedness Report. For the second year in a row, states indicated that of the 31 core capabilities, cybersecurity is one of the capabilities about which they are least confident. The threats posed by a cyber attack are not new, but the impact of a cyber attack becomes more grave as every aspect of government and the private sector become more reliant on cyber technologies. For example, communications essential to an effective emergency response, from the emergency alert system to E911, and eventually FirstNet, all are vulnerable to cyber attack. The data networks and computer systems used to coordinate an efficient response to ensure that adequate resources are deployed to the appropriate locations are similarly vulnerable to a cyber breach. A cyber attack on any of these systems could severely undercut federal, state, and local abilities to respond to disasters effectively. Moreover, we have seen a significant increase in cyber threats to our critical infrastructure. We know that disasters like Superstorm Sandy can wreak havoc on our power systems, but rarely consider the harm that a malicious cyber attack could do to our electrical grid. Accordingly, I've introduced the Smart Grid Study Act, which will provide a comprehensive assessment of actions necessary to expand and strengthen the capabilities of our electrical power systems to prepare for and respond to, mitigate, and recover from a natural disaster or cyber attack to the electric grid. My legislation will go a long way to provide sector-specific awareness of cyber vulnerabilities and how to address them. We must help state governments undertake similar efforts to understand the cyber threats posed to their networks and how to address them. It is no secret that a lack of funding has contributed to the lack of confidence states have in their cybersecurity capabilities. I would be interested in learning how cuts to Homeland Security grant funding since 2011 has affected states' cybersecurity efforts. I have also heard that states have struggled to implement governance structure for cybersecurity and that finding a workforce with the appropriate training has proven difficult. So I would be interested to learn how the Department of Homeland Security is helping states identify best practices for an effective cybersecurity governance structure and improved training for state cybersecurity workforces. And I look forward to learning more about how state emergency managers are working with state chief information officers to understand the role each play in responding to a cyber incident. I want to thank the witnesses for being here today, and I look forward to their testimony. And Madam Chair, I yield back the balance of my time.